Restarting the Gang Stalking protest.
The beat that I'm bringing is delicious.
We the chosen ones, baby. They're all gang stalking and hating on you at the same
By the way,
time.
I will put the audio file.
We the chosen ones.
So you just heard that freaking idiot just lie to you. On YouTube, on commletube, there are a thing called psychological operation campaigns against real gang stalking victims. They want real gang stalking victims to be seen as crazy, to be seen as schizophrenic, to be seen as suffering from delusions of grandeur, and we're not. We are gang stalking victims, and we are being hit with a highly illegal harassment campaign.
Meet up on the internet, finding comfort and information from others who say they too suffer from electronic stalking, mind control, and even rape. Loosely defined, gang stalking is where organized groups target and harass unwilling victims to the point of paranoia, leaving the victims to deal with skeptical family members and skeptical law.
So what is gang stalking? Gang stalking is just a highly illegal, unconstitutional violation of human rights harassment campaign where some of these gang stalkers have access to direct energy weapons and a mind control technology. And yes, they will hit your babies, your little babies, with these direct energy weapons and these mind control technologies too.
Then they have the supersonic nauseator. See, there's mind control right there. So open, it's sold in a weapons catalog.
So these gang stalkers, they're violating U.S. Code 18, sedition, treason, and terrorism. They're violating the RICO Act, racketeering and organized crime. These gang stalkers are stacking up many types of felonies to try to get you in jail, to try to get you in prison, to try to get your kids taken away from you. That's what these gang stalkers are doing. And that's why I've been here at the pier almost every single weekend for 3 years protesting against this gang stalking. All right, listen to my protest, please. So if you're cute in the face, if you're a gang stalking victim and you're like this,
body stay vicious, I be up in the gym just working on my fitness.
You try to keep your body all nice and tight. Chances are, if you're a real gang stalking victim, that you already been raped because these gang stalkers have already broken into your apartment. Please buy a master lock door security bar. Do not trust your deadbolt. Please buy a master lock door security bar.
Meet up on the internet, finding comfort and information from others who say they too suffer from electronic stalking, mind control, and even rape. Loosely defined, gang stalking is where organized groups target and harass unwilling victims to the point of paranoia, leaving the victims to deal with skeptical family members and skeptical law.
Okay, I'm going to jump over to electronic harassment, and this is where people take electronic weapons. Let me just read the definition. Electronic harassment happens if somebody uses any electronic device to aid themselves in invading your person or your property for the purpose of gathering information illegally or for the purpose of causing harm. This is electronic harassment.
Breakdown.
Now, what you're going to listen to next is the top cop, the former top cop of Los Angeles County, the former head FBI agent of Los Angeles County, Ted Gunderson, who was also a gang stalking victim and wrote an affidavit proving that the gang stalking is real and proving that there is no gosh darn demon a part of gang stalking. Gunderson.
I've had gang stalking on me. I've had gang stalking on me. I've had gang stalking on me. Recently, I've been the victim of a disinformation program by a guy named Stu Webb and other individuals. Stu Webb has actually put out word that I was kicked out of the FBI for practicing satanic ceremonies in the federal building. Okay.
Now here we're going to talk about how these gang stalkers will falsely accuse you of being a pedophile or a prostitute, and they will do it.
Okay, slander. They'll go behind the target's back and tell lies about them. They'll say things like, you know, the target is dangerous or into something illegal, pedophile, and they use the pedophile for men and women.
So this is more evidence when it comes to gang stalking. It has nothing to do with no chosen one. This is Dr. John Hall talking about slander and libel campaigns that these gang stalkers will use against your character. Okay, peace.
They're a pedophile. The typical discreditation campaign that you see in the DOD, in the military, to verbally discredit them. Spread rumors. Plant seeds that they're a drug dealer, they're a pedophile. The typical discreditation campaign that you see in the DOD, in the military.
So what you just heard was Dr. John Hall, Dr. John Hall, and it's Dr. John Hall, gang stalking dudes, DEWS, acid reflux. Dr. John Hall, gang stalking dudes, DEWS, acid reflux, talking about the slander and libel campaign that these poopy gang stalkers are going to commit against you and your character.
Claiming people were criminals, so that they needed to investigate them. So they would write up something and send it to the FISA court, get a surveillance warrant, and then they would surveil the person to death. All you needed, according to Barack Obama in 2013, was 2 people saying that you were this or that. You're a bank robber, you're a pedophile, whatever. There was no proof necessary. There was no finding out if those people perhaps had an ulterior motive. Did they have a grudge? Did you can put in a request for a false dossier to be written up on the person and given to the fusion center nearest that person. They take it to their civilian vigilantes, InfraGard and others, and they actually use some crime gangs. They use people from criminal gangs.
So that's Karen Stewart talking about gang stalking. That's Karen Stewart talking about gang stalking in this FISA court. See, these gang stalkers are committing felonies. These gang stalkers are committing crimes to try to get you, a gang stalking victim, in jail.
The Dalai Lama is apologizing for what he calls a playful moment, and we want to warn you that the details of what you're about to hear here might be considered graphic. The exchange involved a Tibetan spiritual leader kissing a young boy on the lips, and at one point he reportedly asked the child to suck on his tongue, which he stuck out. Today, an apology was issued when that video started to make the rounds on social media. In a statement, the Dalai Lama said he wishes to apologize to the boy and his family for the hurt that his words may have caused. The statement goes on to explain that he often teases people he meets in an innocent, playful way, even in public.
What? You see, where are these gang stalkers protecting the little babies from the Dalai Lama? Where are these gang stalkers protecting these little babies at the border? Where are the gang stalkers protecting these little babies in these inner cities? You see, what gang stalking is a highly illegal, unconstitutional violation of human rights program where these gang stalkers hit you with direct energy weapons. These gang stalkers will hit you with mind control technology. These gang stalkers will try to get you in jail, try to get you in prison, try to get you homeless. See, you remember what the Nazis and then the Stasi did in Germany, especially the Stasis in East Germany? Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's a Zerzetzung on steroids. Gang stalking is Zerzetzung. Gang stalking is COINTELPRO on steroids. These gang stalkers are stacking up felonies to try to get you in jail, trying to get you in prison, trying to get you homeless, and trying to get your kids taken away from you. Why? Because these gang stalkers are being controlled by satanic pedophile trash. That's what these gang stalkers are. Listen to this.
The point was to silence Weinstein's Me Too victims, and it worked for 30 years. This system is called covert harassment, and it was not just Weinstein who's used this system. Increasingly, it's a collection of techniques, a protocol that the wealthy and the powerful are using against the powerless. It systematically breaks down the target in a secretive, psychological way. Covert harassment often includes improper surveillance, such as the kind I described, tailing and following. hacking of devices, and coordinated harassment. It is meant to cause fear, stress, and paranoia in the subject.
You see, that's what's going on here on YouTube. These satanic pedophile trash are going to YouTube and messing up the YouTube algorithm. So when you type in gang stalking, you get a whole bunch of bull crap. They mixing gang stalking with religion, gang stalking and spirituality, gang stalking and the supernatural. They're talking about gang stalking and the chosen one, doing gang stalking and tarot cards. None of that has anything to do with real gang stalking. That is a psychological operation campaign against real gang stalking victims and their potential allies. Be careful about that YouTube stuff.
Loosely defined, gang stalking is where organized groups target and harass unwilling victims to the point of paranoia, leaving the victims to deal with skeptical family members and skeptical law.
So again, Ted Gunderson, the former highest-ranking law enforcement officer in Los Angeles County, wrote an affidavit proving that the gang stalking is real, and every single one of these gang stalkers are a domestic terrorist. Under U.S. Code 18, sedition, treason, and terrorism, every single gang stalker needs to be 187 under U.S. Code 18, sedition, treason, and terrorism, and I hope to God it happens.
Assaulted 3 times. My co-workers were discussing killing me, taking me to the KKK. And on a CD, one of my co-workers is discussing a list that I've been placed on. And once you get placed on this list, all the money in the world won't save me. If they want me, I'm gone. That's on a CD. I also overheard my co-worker recruiting for this group. And he stated, man, you got to get in this thing. This thing is bigger than the KKK. There's judges in it, policemen in it.
Again, Ted Gunderson's gang stalking affidavit proves that the gang stalking is real, the mind control technologies are real, and the direct energy weapons are real too. Then you have an old mind control program called Psychoelectronic Weapons Effects. Psychoelectronic Weapons Effects, that's even a popular mechanics magazine right now, proves that everything this lady said was completely true. They're torturing people and they're putting motherfuckers on mind control technology.
Attorneys in it, doctors in it, everybody's in this thing. Then he went on to say that his uncle's in it, and his uncle was a big-time official here in Louisville, Kentucky.
A frightening scene at the height of the government shutdown. Gunfire just... She had postpartum depression after having the baby, her mother said. A few months later, she got sick. She was depressed. She was hospitalized. ABC News has learned Carrie had an encounter with Stamford, Connecticut police in December, where she claimed she was under electronic surveillance by President Obama.
The boyfriend had called police saying that she was delusional, that she thought President Obama was surveilling her electronically, and whether this is why she decided to go down to Washington, to the White House, all of that under investigation right now. Think about it. She actually packed a bag, strapped her daughter in that car, and then drove hundreds of miles down to the White House, possibly to get an audience with the president, Jake.
You see, this is like back in 2007. Now, I want you to Google China in Focus electronic harassment. Google the video, China in Focus electronic harassment, or you can Google the mind control program called Psychoelectronic Weapons Effects. The mind control program called Psychoelectronic Weapons Effects, or you can Google microwave hearing. Okay, again, microwave hearing, you can Google any of those 3, but listen to this.
Have as president, and you have to come here and ruin it.
You shouldn't even be president, Joe, let's be honest. Everyone knows what really happened.
Are you still on that shit, Donald? Is that why you've been stalking me in GTA Online?
You see, back in the early 2000s, a lot of people didn't know about voice cloning technology. So you being hit with some type of microwave hearing mind-controlled device, and you hear Obama in your ear. See, that's why Ted Gunderson said that these people, these gang stalkers, are technically terrorists, and they should be hanged under U.S. Code 18, sedition, treason, and terrorism. They're using mind-controlled devices to torture people. All right, Pete.
Okay, I'm going to jump over to electronic harassment, and this is where people take electronic weapons. Let me just read the definition. Electronic harassment happens if somebody uses any electronic device to aid themselves in invading your person or your property for the purpose of gathering information illegally or for the purpose of causing harm. This is electronic harassment.
26-year-old Esteban Santiago pulls out his pistol and opens fire, and then reloaded once. He killed 5 people, many of them arriving for a cruise ship vacation. And now the question is why Santiago even had a gun, which had been taken away last November when he showed up at the FBI office in Alaska to claim he was hearing voices about ISIS.
Brian Santiago says his brother had mental health issues and was not well since he returned from the Iraq War.
I want to clarify this for the Puerto Rican people and for all the people in the world, that the federal government already knew his reaction. They already knew the thoughts that he was having and how they weren't good. He himself went after them to ask for help, and they did nothing. They had him hospitalized for 4 days, and then they let him go. How are you going to let someone leave a psychological center after 4 days when he's saying that he's hearing voices, that the CIA is telling him to join certain groups? This was in November.
So this is a gang stalking protest. Again, my name is TALAN Godfrey. Put that into Google video, TALAN Godfrey, Google video, TALAN Godfrey, Google video for more videos about gang stalking. Now listen to this. This is some horrible crap.
Direct knowledge of it, hive minds, voice to skull, emotion manipulation behavior, modification technology is being used against the gang stalkers themselves and against people in the program. And it is being used to assist them in doing their job, specifically to take away their conscience, specifically to take away their empathy and their sympathy.
Project emotional states that the brain entrains or locks onto and emulates. One can broadcast rage or fear at an individual target to manipulate and control them. As if these methods were not enough to torture and murder people, add to this nightmarish toolbox active gang stalking. CIA-created cults and other cause-oriented groups are used by actively harassing them in public in a neutralization technique described in counterintelligence operations manuals that are aimed at enemy agents. In the race to develop a new weapon, it has always been necessary to test it on human beings. Perfecting the latest weapons designed to kill slowly and silently, as well as perfecting the process of controlling the human mind, are no different. Once the weaponry has been perfected on these few thousand people, the same techniques will be applied en masse to the general population, and then to humanity as a whole.
Be inundated with thousands of other people voicing the same complaints of organized stalking, of directed energy weapons attacks, burning, twitching, severe headaches, blurred vision, as well as hearing the voices of their perpetrators in their head or in their surroundings while they're being attacked.
Wow. Let me go down the list of some of these that I came up with. We've got DARPA has a sonic projector that was reported on in 2007. Of course, it had been around for quite some time before then. Army has something they call voice to skull. We've got the Air Force using microwaves to create sounds at Brooks Air Force Base. We've got the Marine Corps with their Medusa project. We've got the State Department, as reported by the Washington Post in 2005, working on voices implanted in people's heads. We've got a couple of companies, one that has patented something called hypersound. That's American Technologies, who's also got Holosonic Research Labs, also has a patented version. So
meet up on the internet, finding comfort and information from others who say they too suffer from electronic stalking, mind control, and even rape. Loosely defined, gang stalking is where organized groups target and harass unwilling victims to the point of paranoia, leaving the victims to deal with skeptical family members and skeptical law.
So this is part of the gang stalking protest. Go to targetedjustice.com, targetedjustice.com, or you can go to stopgangstalkingcrimes.com, go to stopgangstalkingcrimes.com, or you can Google the old mind control program that proves that gang stalking is real, called psychoelectronic weapons effects. Psychoelectronic weapons effects, the old mind control program that proves gang stalking is real, and it was even featured on Popular Mechanics magazine. So next you want to listen to is Mark Dice, government official now admits that mind control technology is real. This is Mark Dice, government officials now admits that mind control technology is real.
Psychological operations, Psyops, or as the government likes to call them now, military information support operations, are a very real part of war, and there's an entire division within the Department of Defense dedicated to them.
Psychological operations has consistently been important throughout the history of warfare.
The Psyop toolbox. A lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army at the time named Michael Aquino, an admitted Satanist, by the way, and founder of the Temple of Set, an offshoot of the Church of Satan, wrote a report for the Department of Defense in 1980 titled From Psyop to Mind War that proposed using psychotronic weapons against the general public in order to alter people's brainwaves, thus altering their mood.
So this is Mark Dice. Mark Dice, government official now admits that mind control technology is real. This is Mark Dice, government official now admits that mind control technology is real. So if you are a real gang stalking victim, this is some of the weapons, some of the technology these shitty poopy gang stalkers are going to hit you and your family with. I'm so sorry about that.
To coincide with government propaganda that was being broadcast, Aquino wrote, quote, infrasound vibration up to 20 hertz can subliminally influence brain activity to align itself to delta, theta, alpha, or beta wave patterns, inclining an audience towards everything from alertness to passivity. Infrasound could be used tactfully, as ELF waves endure for great distances, and it could be used in conjunction with media broadcasts as well.
Ted Gunderson, the former top cop of Los Angeles County, the former head of the FBI Los Angeles division, again, Ted Gunderson, said that gang stalking was real. Ted Gunderson wrote an affidavit proving that the gang stalking is real and gang stalking is a crime. As a gang stalking victim, as a targeted individual, you're going to get hit with direct energy weapons and mind control. This man's going to talk about some of the stuff they're going to hit you and your family with. All right, I'm so sorry about that piece.
You might be hit with B2K, okay? If the software enables you to get into that system, fine. If it enables you to get into the acoustic end of it, fine. If it enables you to get into the microwaves, fine. Infrasound, kinetics, all these weapons, they're all weapons and they will kill you.
Listen to Alex Jones, Infowars.com. Want to make everybody sick on the cell block? Here's the big one. Yeah, there it is, the sonic nausea. And then they have the supersonic nauseator. See, there's mind control right there. So open, it's sold in a weapons catalog. Listen to Alex Jones, Infowars.com.
Alex Jones is going to talk more about the direct energy weapons that these shitty, poopy gang stalkers are going to hit you and your family with.
And, I mean, they admit they've got these. They use lower versions of them with the sound cannons, the microwave guns. That's all comes out of technology to kill people covertly. So, yes, that's on record. Listen to Alex Jones, Infowars.com. And it vibrates the carotid arteries that are full, generally, of all the detritus, all the cholesterol and scale, and then that goes into your brain. And, yes, they do have systems they can shoot at a heart and kill you deader than a hammer. Listen to Alex Jones, Infowars.com.
Miss TALAN Godfrey. TALAN Godfrey, type that into Google Video. TALAN Godfrey, Google Video, and you'll find me. So I've been protesting against gang stalking for almost 3 years now at the Santa Monica Pier, and I'm constantly getting hit with direct energy weapons. I think they call it less than lethal weaponry now, but I'm getting hit with something, and I don't know what it is. But I'm starting to think that some of the stuff that they're attacking me with is an EEG cloning or EEG heterodyning device attack. So the video is Dr. Robert Duncan, remote neural monitoring. Dr. Robert Duncan, remote neural monitoring. I'm going to play his video now.
Gas in your eyes with tear gas, and their eyes will actually tear up. There will be a response, and they'll itch, and they can't see, but this is all done through the brain. It's the brain's reaction to these tortures that they're applying back to them. We call it no-touch torture, and so these circuits being stimulated, you got to remember this is called offensive information warfare technology. So it's just like hacking a computer. You are trying to crash that computer. You're trying to crash that human being.
If you have some type of tri-field meter or spectrum analyzer, please can I borrow it so I know what the F I'm being hit with, what type of direct energy weapons they're hitting me with. All right, spectrum analyzer or tri-field meter. Okay, thanks.
Okay, I'm going to jump over to electronic harassment, and this is where people take electronic weapons. Let me just read the definition. Electronic harassment happens if somebody uses any electronic device to aid themselves in invading your person or your property for the purpose of gathering information illegally or for the purpose of causing harm. This is electronic harassment.
Is employed by the U.S. government and has done secret RF weapons research. He believes that tests done with ELIDA and similar machines prove that humans are susceptible to remote alterations of mood and awareness.
Certain kinds of weak electromagnetic signals work exactly like drugs. And so the promise is that anything you can do with drugs, you can do with the right electromagnetic signals.
Yes!
Excellent!
Induce basically what would be considered hallucinations in people, direct them to do things against their so-called better judgment.
If you think that is weird, Google CNET News, holograms that you can touch, CNET News, holograms that you can touch, and then Google Operation Bluebeam. Google CNET News, holograms that you can touch, and then Google Operation Bluebeam. Those holograms are real, and they use these to attack real gang stalking victims. So my name is TALAN Godfrey. TALAN Godfrey. Type my name into Google videos. TALAN Godfrey. Google videos. Watch my COVID-19 vaccines videos and also watch my gang stalking videos. All right, TALAN Godfrey. Google video.
I wish it has some ice cream. I really do.
So the process is almost over, but these are the videos that help you prove that gang stalking is real to your families, so your family don't think you are schizophrenic or anything. These videos will help you prove that gang stalking is real. China in focus, electronic harassment. China in focus, electronic harassment proves that the gang stalking is real. And YouTube keeps deleting this video for some strange reason. It is China in focus, electronic harassment help proves that the gang stalking is real. Next video is Ted Gunderson, FBI head, gang stalking affidavit. Ted Gunderson, FBI head, gang stalking affidavit. This is a legal document that proves that the gang stalking is real. The video is called FBI head Ted Gunderson gang stalking affidavit, proving that the gang stalking is real. The next video is C911 Revenge for Hire, CBS News, New York. C911 Revenge for Hire, CBS News, New York, proves that the gang stalking is real. The next video is 60 Minutes News. 60 Minutes News. The eBay scandal. 60 Minutes News, the eBay scandal proved that the gang stalking is real. The next video is When Women Become Gang Stalkers. When Women Become Gang Stalkers. This video is very important, and it proves that you need to buy a master lock door security bar. Do not trust your deadbolt. It is When Women Become Gang Stalkers. The next video that proves that gang stalking is real is Dr. John Hall, gang stalking DEWS, D-E-W-S, acid reflux. Dr. John Hall, gang stalking DEWS, D-E-W-S, acid reflux, proves that the gang stalking is real. The next video is William Shatner, yes, that dude from Star Trek. William Shatner, Where or What, Season 3, Episode 10, proves that gang stalking is real. William Shatner, Weird or What, Season 3, Episode 10, proves that the gang stalking is real, and that video features a lawyer from UC Davis that proves that gang stalking is real. The next video is Mark Dice's video. Government officials now admit that mind control technology is real. Mark Dice's video. Government officials now admit that mind control technology is real. Again, Mark Dice's video. Go check his videos out. They're amazing. The next video that proves that gang stalking is real is Monarch, the New Phoenix program. Monarch, the New Phoenix program is a documentary about mind control technology that proves gang stalking is real. Monarch, the New Phoenix program. The next video that proves gang stalking is real is Bob Chandra, Organized Stalking. Bob Chandra, Organized Stalking, proves that the gang stalking is real. There's two mind control programs. No, there are two gang stalking websites that prove gang stalking is real. The first website that proves gang stalking is real is StopGangStalkingCrimes.com. StopGangStalkingCrimes.com. Prove gang stalking is real. And the next one is TargetedJustice.com. TargetedJustice.com. Prove that the gang stalking is real. And the last thing that proves gang stalking is real is an old mind control program called Psychoelectronic Weapons Effects. Psychoelectronic Weapons Effects is an old mind control program that proves gang stalking is real, and this program was featured in Popular Mechanics magazine. Oh, last thing, please watch Futurescape with James Woods. Please watch Futurescape with James Woods. This came from the Science Channel back in 2013. Futurescape with James Woods proves that this synthetic telepathy is real. All right, peace.
Okay, so there it is. Well, trying to get it focused. There it is. I got it. See, that's the gang stalking process at the Santa Monica Pier. Right there. All right. Stopping the camera.